Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7, back again. Looking forward to this weekend, looking forward to getting back on track. A blip in the road last time out. Congratulations for Bournemouth for doing a number over us, but bigger picture, overall, for the last 10 games, to say that we've only lost, one game with some of the fixtures that we've had through that period as well. You'd have taken it all day long. Of course you would have. You would have snapped anybody's hands off. Yes, it is disappointing, the manner of the defeat, how unexpected the performance and result was. But, you know, sometimes you've just got to hand it to the opposition. They were more up for it. They were more prepared. They had the superior game plan on the day. And we have to take one on the chin. We move forward, we're looking ahead already to this weekend, and it's a perfect opportunity, isn't it? If you could have literally picked any fixture, I mean, obviously ideally at home, but if you could have picked any team to be able to face after what happened at St James's Park last time out, then it would be Southampton. Obviously rooted to the foot of the table. We beat them in the opening game of the season, didn't we? The reverse fixture, but you would want them, and that is what we've got. So we've got to go down there with confidence and look, like I touched upon before, at the bigger picture. There's no point dwelling on one result when you can look back on the other 9 and think how fantastic those are. You know, context is most definitely key. Was there some tired legs? Was there some fatigue? Was there some mental fatigue even that had set in? Possibly. Is it a kick up the arse? I'm hoping so. And knowing Eddie Howe, knowing the coaches as we do, there'll be a response. There will be a response. He's giving the lads a couple of days off just to refresh, recharge the batteries, get them away from the training ground, away from playing football, and hopefully that will mean that when they come back, when they come back, you know, after a couple of days of coming back into the training today, then they're going to be absolutely primed and raring to go, ready for this weekend. Hopefully a couple of new fresh set pieces, because again, set pieces and stuff like that also important. And with so fine margins in the league, yes, we've dropped down to I think 2 places. We've dropped down in the league from 4th down to 6th, but it's so tight, 1 point literally covering several positions. And it's just about us dusting ourselves down and going on another fantastic run, and getting some more points and some more wins, you know, on the table, and cementing hopefully a top 5 place. That would be absolutely fantastic, because that would be Champions League this season, and if not, some sort of European competition. That is still, you know, the main purpose of this season. You know, to get back into European competition would be great. And of course we've still got that second leg of the semi-final to be able to look forward to. So lots of positivity, lots of reasons to be positive at Newcastle United at the moment. You know, with where we are in the League Cup, where we are in the league, and the possibilities, it's there for the taking. I just hope, I think the one frustration that I think Newcastle fans have got, and I think it's a genuine, you know, reason. There's none of this, oh, you can't critique the club, the project. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can be 100% behind Eddie, 100% behind the club, but you can state the absolutely glaringly obvious that's right there in front of you. And it is the lack of transfers. You know, the lack of any sort of transfer noise is definite. There's no doubt about it. We could do with players in. Some of our players are attracting interest. Miggy, there or thereabouts, sort of £10 million move out of there. You know, there's talk about Lloyd Kelly going to Juventus. Will he, won't he? I think, to me, anything above 12, 13, 14 million pound for a player that we've cost us nout, isn't getting the minutes, isn't getting the starts, to me is a no-brainer in this financial world that we're in. 10 million for Miggy, somewhere between 10 and 25 million pound for Lloyd Kelly. Whether that's now or in the summer that we'd receive that money, I don't know, but you're talking about up to 35 million pound there. The club reported profits of 23 million pound on the most recent accounts. You put all of it together and you're telling me with what, over 50 million pounds say cash reserves in the bank, and now that we are doing a little bit of selling and we're getting better on that, You're telling me that we can't go and get a transfer in, 1 or 2 loans in, you know, with an obligation or anything else in. We should be able to. So, like I say, it's with that in mind that hopefully over these remaining days left in the transfer window that we do get a little bit of activity, a little bit of movement, bring somebody in, because I think it'll just relieve a little bit of the worry, a little bit of the you know, the tension and apprehension that's about the fan base in the lack of income and activity. There's been no movement. This will be the 3rd window now, and fans, I think, are legitimately asking what's going on. How come we're making no transfers in? We were told we have to become a better selling club. We start to sell a few players, and yet we still can't, you know, bring players in. This is with increased commercial activity. This is with a season after the Champions League and stuff like that. So you put everything into the melting point, and I think there is some legitimate, you know, reasons for fans to be at least asking questions. You know, recently you don't ask questions because you literally ask a question, a perfectly reasonable one, about transfer activity or what's Paul Mitchell doing, what's his purpose. You know, he comes with his big CV and he comes round fucking, you know, swinging his you know what's about, saying, oh, I'm, you know, Billy fucking big bollocks, I've done this, I've done that, Spurs, Southampton, abroad on the continent, I've got such a great record, blah blah blah. He comes to Newcastle United and we just seemingly can't sign anyone, you know. Not asking for world beaters or transfer records to be broken, but surely to goddamn within a couple of windows we should see some sort of activity, because again it comes to the old adage, if you're standing still in the Premier League you're going backwards, and we're risking players moving on perhaps. Yes, squad players who aren't getting many minutes, but the bodies, extra options available for Eddie Howe. We're moving players out, and yet we still aren't bringing players in. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit of squeaky bum time for your average Newcastle United fan, asking why that is, you know, the situation. But there's still time left in the window. There's still a possibility that we could do something. It's not sounding positive from what Eddie Howe has said. However, we all know that, you know, there's been times where Eddie Howe's been asked about transfers and there's been a transfer in the next room along and he's denied any knowledge of anything and known anything. So perhaps it could be a little bit of management bluff. Perhaps it could be a little bit of deflection. I don't know. But ultimately, we do need some players to be able to come in. The squad is still massively unbalanced. I've said all along, we've got a fantastic first team. We can give anybody a game once we've got as many of our first teamers fit and firing as possible. But, you know, you've only got to look when you bring in a few squad players, when you make wholesale changes. You know, we couldn't do what a Chelsea does, for example, and have a European team or a cup team and then a league team or whatever to be able to keep players fresh, because we haven't got the quality, the depth of quality that you need to be able to balance all these competitions. And I just hope that if we do get back into Europe, lessons have been learned from last season, and when it comes to subsequent campaigns, that we do have the balance. And I was hoping to get a little bit of that this window. Far too many players in some positions, not enough in others. You know, we need to be selling goalkeepers and left backs, and we need to be bringing in right wingers and strikers. There's got to be multiple players for each position across the board. You know, there can be youngsters, there could be whatever, but you need that quality, that quality reinforcement. Because if you get an injury to an Isak or somebody who's really, really irreplaceable, you've got to have somebody you can at least bring in and do a job. So you're not going to get another Isak. You know, nobody in the right mind would think that. But a Callum Wilson who isn't injured all the time, that would be nice. That would work. You know, bring somebody else in, another right winger. So if Jacob Murphy's out, you're not having to play a round peg in a square hole. Yeah, that would be an idea. You know, you get my drift. you need at least one, if not one or two, for each position. Players who can play in a few different roles, like your Joe Linton can play midfield, he can play out wide left, he could actually do a job up top. I mean, to be fair, Joe Linton can probably play most places, but again, you get my drift. You need that flexibility. Emil Kraft, right back, centre back. Lloyd Kelly, if he stays about, centre back, left back. Dan Burn, again, he can do your job at left back. He can do more than a job at centre back. Isaac, centre forward, wide left. Gordon up top and wide left. And again, that's the sort of thing that we need to be going for. But the links are few and far between. And there seems to me to be more links for players who potentially could come in during the summer than what there is for players who are coming in now. Are we keeping our powder dry? If so, why do we need to keep our powder dry? And why aren't the club communicating like they used to? Because a year or so ago, you know, you'd get interviews, they'd head down the stack, they'd talk, they'd do video interviews on the official app, on the official website. There was a constant flow of information from the likes of Amanda Staveley and so on. Nowadays, we don't get that. You know, when was the last time that we had an update? I'm not saying we need to know every bit of club detail, but a little bit of communication would be nice. You know, we know we've got the stadium info coming shortly, the end of the first proper stage, if you like, of all that. You know, an end to the feasibility study, the art of the what's possible. So looking forward to getting that. But the communication from the club, again, isn't a knock. I'm still 1,000% behind everybody, but communication could be better. Transfers, well, that could be better too, you know. And it shouldn't always be on the shoulders of Eddie Howe to field all the questions about things that he's not qualified, as he said himself before, to be able to talk about. You're asking him about transfers. It's not really his department. That's the game. That's the modern management structure. It doesn't sit well with me. Personally, it should all be up to the manager. But different people are responsible for different things, but yet those different people, those other people, aren't willing to stick their head above the parapet and be able to speak to the media, to talk to the media, and in turn communicate to the fans, who are the lifeblood of the club. So although I'm 1,000% behind the ownership, 1,000% behind Eddie Howe, 1,000% behind the players, it would be nice to hear from these people who have got the responsibility and the power to be able to affect different aspects of the club. You know, it would be nice to hear from maybe the chairman, how he feels it's going, the targets, so on and so forth. So it's just really a suggestion that communication could definitely be better. New year, new everything. Well, one of their New Year's resolutions hopefully should be to communicate with fans more. That would definitely, I think, make a lot of people feel a lot better about the situation. But yeah, let me know down below how you're feeling about the weekend, the transfer window, the state of the communication between the club and the fans. Let me know all of that down below. I hope you enjoyed the new video. Ian did his first video up on Magpie 24/7 yesterday. Was more than happy with that. He's going to be doing regular videos, 1 or 2 videos per week on the channel from Ian. Obviously, myself, Kyle will still be on the channel as well, looking to push it as much as is possible. So some new graphics, changing things around, trying to get the best possible stuff that we can on Magpie 24/7. Subscribe, 169,000 of you now following it's absolutely mind blowing. And we've got a few people now doing articles and specials about certain aspects of the club. So we've got some shorter stuff, some longer stuff to be able to read, different videos from different people as well. So really just trying to mix things up. So I appreciate your support. I'm going to go and get some stuff done now. But yeah, looking forward to the weekend. Subscribe to Magpie 24/7. Follow us across all the social media channels, your Facebooks, your X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, Instagram. And in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.